What if every dream you ever wanted to come true for 2025 were to come true? That's what this episode is going to do for you. Today, I'm going to take you through the exact process I go through every year to manifest my dream life. Here's the reality. Every goal I've ever wanted to manifest, I have. It's not because I'm special. It's just because I learned the principles for how to manifest correctly, and then I apply them, and then I do them. In this episode, I'm going to teach you exactly the process I use. You're going to learn how to manifest, why it works, and at the end of the episode, I'm going to take you through the exact process I do to manifest my goals every single year. You are going to manifest your best life in 2025, and I'm so excited for you. Let's rock. Welcome to the Good Mood Revolution. I'm your host, Matt O'Neill, and I've spent the last 15 years mastering the art of lasting happiness. Look, happiness isn't just a feeling, it is a skill, and it's a skill that you can learn and master. This show is your training ground. Let your Good Mood Revolution begin now. When I was young, I thought that life happened to me. I thought that people got mad at me for a reason, that they had issues. I thought that the issues I had at work, they weren't my fault. That was because of my boss. It was unfair. I thought that when I got sick, that was just because you get sick sometimes. I thought that the issues I had in my relationships were usually my friend's fault. And as a result, I kind of felt like a ship without a rudder. Wherever I was pushed, wherever the winds of life blew me, I went. And it didn't really have a direction. And some days were bad. Some days were awful. Some days were miserable. And some days were good. Some days were blissful. And I just kind of waited for the winds to blow me to the blissful days. And then I battened down the hatches and I waited out the storms of the miserable days. And to kind of get by with this uncertainty of what day I was going to get, I would drink alcohol. I'd do other things. I just kind of numb out because here's the thing, I couldn't control it. So might as well just control what I could, which is I can make myself feel different with these substances. And then, by the grace of God, my cousin Debbie said, Matt, come watch this movie with me. I'm watching a movie. I think you'll really love it. The movie was The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. That movie changed my life. It changed everything. Here I am, 25. And I see this movie and she says, your entire life is created because of you. Everything that is happening because of the way you're thinking. Everything that is happening because of the way you're feeling. This rocked my world. It changed my mind about I wasn't really a victim. That the people who were upset with me because of me, that the work challenges I had were because of me. It like all of a sudden I felt like kind of daunting. Holy cow. Like, how could I control all these thoughts? This seems beyond anyone's ability. Like, I can't control these thoughts. There's too many of them. I kind of felt angry about it. Like, how are you supposed to do this? This is not possible. Like, I want to have a great life, but the challenge is too big. And then I kind of got inspired. Later that year, David, Debbie's wife, David Wertan, he gave me the book, Think and Grow Rich. And I'm reading through that book, and I was just so inspired. Napoleon Hill in the 1920s wrote this book, Think and Grow Rich, and it said the same thing as The Secret, which I saw in the early 2000s, but only 100 years earlier. He said, whatever you think about obsessively, you become. wow, same concept 100 years earlier. So Rhonda really didn't have a secret. Napoleon Hill had told us that secret in the 1920s. I just hadn't read that book, and no one had taught me this. Well, today we're talking about manifesting your best life. We manifest our best life with this principle. Whatever you obsessively think about, consciously or subconsciously, and however you feel, you become these things. This is how life works. I recently read a book called How Life Works. My podcast guest, Andrew Matthews, who came on with his book, Bouncing Back, wrote this other book called How Life Works. And I just love this book. The book is very similar to the book that, or to The Secret and to Think and Grow Rich, in that he's telling us the truth about how life works and its manifestation. In the book, he says, thoughts affect matter. Andrew says everything is connected. Good things happen when we feel good, and bad things happen when we're feeling bad. This means your life is not a lottery. It's not random. It's not by chance, and it never has been. This is the same awakening that I had at age 25. Prior to seeing The Secret and reading Think and Grow Rich, I thought my life was random. I thought bad things happen just because bad things happen. I thought good things happen just because good things happen. And it's just, hopefully today's a good day, that I'm not really in control. Whatever happens is just totally random. After that moment at age 25, I realized that nothing's random, that my thoughts and feelings are creating my destiny. It's a truth. It's the first awakening that Eckhart Tolle talks about. In my episode where I spent a weekend with Eckhart Tolle, he said he went through 2 stages of spiritual awakening. The first stage is what I'm talking about in this episode, that your life is not random, that you are the creator of your destiny, and you create it with your thoughts and your feelings. What this means is that nothing is a coincidence. With every single thought you have, you're creating something. If it's a subconscious negative thought, you're creating something subconsciously negative in your future. If it's a subconsciously positive thought, you're creating something pretty positive in your future. If it's a conscious negative thought, like I'm in the car and I'm really angry at this driver, I am consciously creating negativity for my future. And if it's a conscious, gracious, forgiving, loving, grateful thought, like I get cut off by the same driver, but I say, bless this person, God have some grace on them, I'm creating blessings and grace in my future. This is just how it works. We create whatever we think about. Some people, they make friends wherever they go. You know a person like that. They've never met a stranger. How is it possible that they make friends wherever they go and they've never met a stranger? Well, they believe that everybody is going to like them. And then they act that way, and then everybody likes them. Some people have success in anything they do. That's me. I have a belief, a subconscious belief and a conscious belief, that everything always works out for me. I also have a belief that I am really, really lucky. Now, these aren't, I wasn't born with these beliefs. These are implanted new beliefs from the age 25 and on. I actually was born with a belief that I'm super unlucky. My mom used to tell me, oh, you're an O'Neill. It's the Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is that whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And then she used to give me this belief. Bad things always happen in 3s. So one bad thing happens, 2 more bad things are going to happen. Well, I heard this since the age of 1-year-old, right? 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old. My mom continued to say whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And, we're an O'Neill, so we have bad luck. I went to the Cub Scouts bake sale, and there was 50 Cub Scouts, and every week there were 25 different baking goods, and we would buy raffle tickets. And basically you would win a baked good every other time you went, just by the law of averages. Half as many baked goods and twice as many Cub Scouts. So you're not going to win every time, but you should win every other time you go, just by the law of averages. I had this subconscious belief that I was unlucky. I went to maybe 30 or 40 of these different things. I never won a single bake sale. How is that possible? It defies all logic. It's because I believed I was unlucky. Well, today, I recognize that belief that I thought I was unlucky, and I changed it. I just said, I believe I'm lucky. And guess what? I am so lucky. I am so lucky. I named my dog Lucky. I have a t-shirt that says Lucky. I'm constantly saying, I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. Things always work out for me. It started out as kind of an unbelievable belief, but I repeated it so many times that now it's just like the way my life is. Everything works out. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. The wait is finally over. The Good Mood Revolution book is officially available for pre-order on Amazon today. You can go to Amazon and look for Good Mood Revolution book. And in this book, you're going to find the 8 bad moods that get in the way of your happiness. You're going to learn strategies on how to overcome each of these 8 negative thoughts. They're all lies anyway. And then what the thought patterns are that make us happy every single day. You're also going to learn strategies that can make you really feel fulfilled in your life and make other people around you feel fulfilled as well. So go on Amazon, look for Good Mood Revolution book, and order yours today. You can do the exact same thing. In fact, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you start saying all the time, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, things always work out for me. And even in the midst of something that looks like it's not working out, you can say, even this will work out for me. I don't know how yet, but it's going to benefit me in some way, and I'll see it at some point in time. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. But for many of us, negative just became the normal. That's how it was for me when I was growing up. Here's the thing about negative. Negative thoughts multiply. They grow. They're like rats. You get one rat, and then you have a huge rat infestation. That's negative thoughts. You get one negative thought, and then another pops up, and then another, and soon you have a negative thought infestation. Ugh. To break the pattern, as soon as you notice one negative thought, get your rat trap. You have to stop, and you have to get it out. This is the way. When you see one negative thought, here's a simple question. Ask, what could be good about this? So I got into a car crash. Somebody T-boned my brand new car. It was a car I'd been pining for. I really wanted it. It was a Land Rover Defender. And we get T-boned by somebody. And that kind of sucked. The car's in the shop still. They said it's going to take at least 5 months to fix it. So here I am, paying on a brand new car that's very expensive every single month, not being able to use it. And that's a negative thought. My negative thought that I don't get to use this car. So I ask, what could be good about this? Well, I'm driving a rental car I don't like. It might have been, I can't even know. It was a gray car with gray interior. It was low to the ground. It didn't feel like me. And I was kind of upset about it. And my wife, Katie, she's a saint. She says, Matt, what could be good about this? And I'm like, nothing. And she said, why don't you go ahead and rent a cool car? And I said, man, I've always my whole life wanted to drive a Jeep. So I called up the rental place and I said, hey, do you guys happen to have a Jeep? And he said, we don't. I'm sorry. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to have my car for 5 months. I've always wanted to drive a Jeep. Do you know anywhere I could rent a Jeep? And he's like, we've got one Jeep and I already rented it out to this guy, but the guy didn't really want it. He wanted something else. He said, let me call that guy, see if I can give him something else that he wants more and see if we can free this Jeep up for you. 2 days later, I get a call back. He said, I've got your Jeep. Right now, right outside this window, I'm looking at a brand new Jeep Wrangler, Lions blue, because I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan. I take the top off, the sun's blaring in, I crank the radio. It's freaking awesome. I don't miss the defender, because I'm driving a dream car that I've always wanted to drive. So what could be good about this? It's a beautiful question to stop the negative, and then you get really creative and you find out, wow, there actually could be good things about getting hit by somebody. In fact, it could be even more fun. You might say, that's not realistic. What if you had broken your neck? Here's the thing. Here's realistic. Lousy things happen, and happy people ask, what could be good about this? So we can say it's not realistic to constantly ask what's good about this, but whatever we think is realistic is realistic. So we're going to create our destiny by how we feel right now. If I want to feel negative, I'm going to create a negative destiny. And if I want a positive destiny, I need to feel positive right now. We do that by asking this simple question. But why does manifestation even work? How could our thoughts and our feelings create our future? Let's get into a little bit of science. The universe, as it turns out, is not a big machine like Newton had thought. The universe is more a big thought. Everything you see is consciousness. You are consciousness. Rocks are consciousness. Water is consciousness. You and your thoughts are made of the same stuff the entire universe is made of. But you may be saying, how could thoughts just create something out of nothing? That doesn't make sense. Well, one of the greatest scientific minds of all time is Dr. Stephen Hawking. Here's what he said, and I quote, "Without a doubt, all the cosmos and time and space and the forces of nature materialized out of nothing." That's the Big Bang. If you're a spiritual person, you may know that God created the universe out of nothing. So science and spirituality both say everything is created out of nothing. So why is it so hard for us to believe that our thoughts can create things out of nothing? The universe is not logical, it's magical. A little more science. This one blew me away. I hadn't heard of this before, but it's pretty cool. Professor Wolfgang Pauli created a principle in 1943 and won a Nobel Prize as it was verified correct. It's called the Pauli exclusion principle. He noticed that every electron, so every single atom has electrons, every electron has an energy, a spin, and an orbit. So the energy level is how much energy is in that electron. The spin is how fast is it spinning, and the orbit is how far away it is from the nucleus of the atom and what shape is it spinning in. If you multiply the energy level times the spin times the orbit, you get a very long number. But this is what he found out. No two electrons have the same number. He calls it the quantum number, and there are more electrons than we could even imagine. But they all have a unique quantum number. Like the way they say there's no two snowflakes that are alike, there's no two fingerprints that are alike, there are no two electrons that are exactly alike. Why is this interesting? Well, if I were to take an apple and rub my hands on that apple really fast, I would heat up the atoms in that apple. And as I heated it up, I would be adding energy to the electrons in the apple, meaning I would change the quantum number of a bunch of electrons that made up that apple as I rubbed it. This is the principle, though. No two electrons can have the same number. So as I change the number of the electrons in that apple, the electrons in the universe to have the same number that it's jumping to have to change instantaneously. And this is what he discovered. Electrons on the other side of the universe will actually change as I change the electrons here. That is how it works. So as we have a thought, we are changing reality. As we touch things, we are changing reality, and the rest of the universe is balancing itself and getting back into balance. So let's use it to our advantage. If you want to manifest your dream life, all you have to do is feel what it feels like to already have it. Your feelings. So your heart is an energy emitter. In fact, your heart emits about an electromagnetic field about 10 feet around you, which happens to be 5,000 times bigger than the electromagnetic field of your brain. So your heart is this huge electromagnetic energy emitter. When you have happy feelings, you're sending out electromagnetic activity into the universe. And as we said, that's going to affect everything else, and everything's going to have to come into balance and realign and bring it to you. So what we need to do is follow the exercise I'm going to give you at the end of this episode. Are you looking to take your happiness to another level? If you're looking to be more successful, we need to be happier, because success and happiness go hand in hand. But sometimes we get stuck in thought patterns we don't even know are holding us back. And we need a coach or a mentor to see things we can't see with our own eyes. I've had coaches and mentors help me access levels of happiness I couldn't have achieved without them. I'm now offering that same service to a small, select number of people. If you think one-on-one coaching could elevate your happiness, go to mattoneil.com and click the coaching tab to learn more. I look forward to talking with you. As you change the way you feel and what you think about, you change your destiny. Experience is going to follow your feeling. And this is the thing. No one and no thing is stopping you from having the life you want. You are the only thing stopping you from having what you want, by the way you're believing, the way you're thinking, and the way you're feeling. You may be saying, yeah, sure. I've tried manifesting before. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if one of three things are happening. One, maybe you chose a goal that you weren't even excited about. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill said, you'll have whatever you obsessively think about. So you have to be so excited that you're obsessed about having this thing. And when you're that excited, your thoughts are really intense about it and your feelings are really intense about it, and that's going to change the universe and bring you what you want. So if you choose a goal like, oh, I want $1 million, but you're not really excited about having $1 million, maybe you've got some counter thoughts like, well, rich people are stupid or mean, and I don't want to be stupid and mean, so I don't really want $1 million, but I'm going to say I want it. It's not going to work. You have to fully want it. So maybe that's not the goal for you. Not everybody wants $1 million. Everyone says they do, but not everybody can be obsessively excited about having it. So 1, you have to choose a goal you're really excited about. 2, you may have chosen a goal out of lack. Like, I really want $1 million, but I just feel like I don't have enough all the time. Well, if that feeling like I don't have enough all the time is stronger than the desire for the goal, we're going to get whatever we feel more often. So we can't be focused on lack. We have to be focused on already having. And so if we want to have more money, we actually need to focus on abundance already, which is grateful feelings. We want to get ourselves into a state of gratitude for what we already have, because if we feel like we already have enough and then we think about, being really excited about having other things, it's super easy. We don't have any lack in our system, so we're not manifesting things we don't have. We have abundance in our system, so it's easy to bring us more abundance. The third reason why maybe manifesting didn't work is that maybe you chose a goal and you didn't even think it was possible. I started manifesting $100,000. My first goal was I'm going to earn $100,000 this year. I believed that was possible. I really wanted it, and I did it. And I said, well, that was nice. Now I'm going to manifest $200,000. And so I believed I could. Once I got to 100,000, I believed I could get to 200,000. I really wanted it. I visualized it. I pictured it. I was grateful for what I had, and I achieved it. And when I got that, I said, man, maybe I'm going too small now. I think I could manifest 500,000. That was kind of a stretch, but I still believed I could do it. And with intense focus, it took a few years, but I ended up manifesting 500,000. From that point, I went to 750 and then I went to 1 million. I manifested all of them, but I didn't go from 0 to 1 million because from where I was earning, 50,000 a year, it was unbelievable for me to go from 50 to 1 million. Like I couldn't see how that would happen. So I started with 50 to 100 and then 100 to 200 and then 200 to 500 and then 500 to 750 and then 750 to 1 million. And each step felt believable to me and I was able to do it. So that's how we manifest. But maybe the goal isn't the right goal. So then I was like, well, shoot, I'll manifest 2 million. And guess what? I did. That was crazy. So how do we know if it's the right goal? Manifesting $2 million. This was $2 million a year of income. I didn't really want it. I don't know what it was. I think I was just like continuing to set bigger and bigger goals because that's what I had done since I was manifesting 100,000 and so on. But it was no longer in alignment with what I wanted. At that point, when I manifested 1 million a year, I had everything I needed financially. But what I really wanted, and I didn't notice it at the time, what I really wanted was more time. I wanted more relationships. I wanted more time with my family. I didn't actually need more money or want more money. I didn't recognize that this was a bad goal. And so I manifested 2 million, and I also manifested a ton of relationship issues, like so much suffering. So, we can manifest things we don't actually want. We can't do it joyfully. So I often say Hitler manifested his goals too. And it didn't go very joyful for him or anyone that was with him or anyone that encountered him. So we can manifest goals that aren't a good fit. So how do we know if what we're manifesting is a good goal? How do we know if it's the right goal? Well, here's the thing. As you're thinking about the goal, you have to feel in your heart, does this make me excited? Does this make me feel loving? Does this make me feel amazing? If it doesn't, it's not the right goal for you. So if you think about a goal and you feel kind of numb to it or blah or meh, or even bad in some way, it's not a good goal. And Hitler's an extreme example, but I'm sure the feelings in his chest as he was thinking about world domination and killing a bunch of people were not like super pleasant, loving, amazing feelings. I'm sure they were pretty angry, ugly, disgusting feelings. And that's what he ended up creating. So as we do this exercise here in just a minute, as you're thinking of your goals, make sure that they really excite you and they bring a smile to your face. They make you feel joyful and lit up and on fire. And then you'll know it's a good goal for you. So nothing just happens by chance. There's no successful movie star, star athlete, star author. There's no successful podcast host or speaker that didn't imagine their goal over and over and over until it happened. Now, there are plenty of people around you and in the world who don't believe that their thoughts affect matter. But I challenge you, find me one wildly successful person who doesn't believe it. What you hold in mind and in heart is who you become. If you believe life is annoying and frustrating and against you and then you die, it is. But how we really want to feel is we want to feel like really bold and confident and go towards our goals with everything we've got. The more excited we feel, the more exciting things are going to appear. Brene Brown has a quote. She said, "People who feel loved believe they deserve to be loved." I want to feel loved. And I do, because I believe I deserve to be loved. You may be in a time of challenge right now. Maybe you're just getting out of an adversity or a hard time. You may feel like, man, life doesn't feel as joyful as Matt's saying it should. I've certainly been through so many adversities, so many challenges, so many hard times. And during those times, the future didn't look very bright. But things always turned around once my feelings turned into hope. They didn't turn around until my feelings did. So your feelings have to come first. You have to start to have some hope that the future is going to be bright. And then your destiny follows your feelings. So our feelings are going to attract our life. If we feel kind of crummy about life, our future is going to be kind of crummy. And if we feel kind of amazing about life, our future is going to be pretty freaking amazing. They did a study and they found that when people feel happy, they're more likely to carry someone's groceries. And in this same study, they found that when people feel miserable, they're more likely to take the wallet that that person unsuspectingly dropped. So, of course, the person whose groceries they needed to carry was the actor, and they had taken a survey with people in the grocery store beforehand, and the ones who were feeling the happiest carried the groceries and handed the wallet back. And the ones who were feeling the worst didn't help with the groceries and didn't give the wallet back. So how happy you feel turns into the good that you're going to do in the world. And when you do good things come back to you. All right, let's do the exercise so that you can have the life that you deserve. This is the goal planning exercise that I talk about in Good Mood Revolution book. I'm really excited to walk you through it. So I want you to pause this every category, but to manifest the life of your dreams, you don't want to manifest life in just one category. Like you don't want to manifest all financial like I did when I was going after that 2 million income goal and then ignore the other areas of your life, like your relationships, also like I did. Because you don't want, like if you've got a financial goal, but your relationships are falling apart, you've got a pretty crummy life. And I want you to have an amazing life. And so we create an amazing life when we manifest goals in the 7 major categories of life. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have you pause this episode, and when I say a category, I want you to write as fast as you can and try to come up with 10 goals really, really fast for each category. All right, so the first category is health and fitness. Pause this episode and write down as fast as you can as many goals as you can think of what you want in your life in health and fitness. Okay, do it now. The next category, your career and finances. Go ahead and pause this program and write down as fast as you can, just 2 minutes, as many goals as you could think of for your life, not just next year, but forever, like next 10 years in your career and in your finances. Okay, do it now. The next category, your lifestyle and adventure. So some examples of the lifestyle and adventure might be going to a new country or taking a ski trip, taking dance lessons, learning a new hobby, buying your dream home, buying your dream car, getting new clothes, maybe staying at a 5-star resort or going to the spa. So take just a couple minutes, just 2 minutes, no more. Write down as many goals as you can think of in your lifestyle and adventure. Go. My favorite category, family relationships. You know, you could have ideas like having a date night every week or taking a one-on-one trip just with your spouse, or maybe a one-on-one day with your child. Maybe you've got a goal that you want to see your mom more or that you want to connect with your siblings more. Okay, so take 2 minutes, write down as many goals as you can with your family. This next category is one of my other favorite categories, and it's friendships. Next to family, friendships are everything to me. You could say, hey, I want to find new level 10 friendships, people who inspire me. Or maybe come up with weekly calls with good friends or connect with old friends you've lost touch with. Maybe you want to plan a guy's weekend or a girl's weekend. Maybe you want to go on a friend camping trip or fly out to see your college buddy or high school buddy. Take just 2 minutes, write down your goals for friendships. Okay, we just have 2 categories left. Again, we're on one of my favorite categories, maybe my third favorite category. your spiritual and your charity goals. Some ideas here are reading a book on spirituality, or maybe giving some of your income to charity, maybe meditating, creating a meditation practice, maybe creating a prayer routine. So take just a couple minutes and write down your goals for spirituality and charity. Our last category, personal and emotional growth. Some examples here might be reading a book every month, or listening to a growth podcast, joining a mastermind, hiring a coach, attending a conference. Take just a couple minutes and write down your goals in personal and emotional growth. Okay, if you followed along, you now have a ton of goals in the 7 major categories of life. And what I want you to do is to go back to each category and circle your top 2 goals in each category. So you can, again, pause this program, go back to each category, circle your top 2 goals. Now, here's the interesting part. I want you to now write down just your number 1 goal in each category. What's your number 1 health and fitness goal? Your number 1 career and finance goal? Your number 1 lifestyle and adventure goal? Number 1 family relationships goal? Number 1 friendships goal? Number 1 spirituality and charity goal? And your number 1 personal and emotional growth goal? These are the 7 most important goals in your life. Take these 7 goals and put them on your bathroom mirror. Take these 7 goals and put them next to your coffee maker. Take these 7 goals and put them over your desk. Take these 7 goals and turn them into a vision board where you find pictures on the internet and you print them and you put them on a poster and you put them where you get dressed every morning. Take these 7 goals and write them every single day as if they're already yours. Take these 7 goals and visualize yourself already having achieved them. This is how you manifest your best 2025. Your homework, your challenge is to, if you didn't have time to pause the program, come back to this episode and actually take the 30 minutes it takes to create your top 7 goals. And then just try reading them every morning and visualizing what your life will feel like. What's going to happen is you're going to emit energy into the universe. The energy that you emit will then be rearranged and the universe will come into balance and it'll deliver exactly what you wanted. Hope you really enjoyed this episode. This is the exact process I follow, and I have manifested every goal I've ever dreamed of. And you can too. I'm not magic. I'm not special. I'm just taking advantage of the way the universe works. And I want you to do the same thing. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode with Matt O'Neill.